started. So first of all, thank you for joining me. I know it obviously takes a lot of time to actually go out of your way to join a webinar. Obviously, to commit the time, it does mean a lot, and I'm really grateful for you guys to be here today. So in this webinar, I am going to be teaching you how to use Facebook ads to generate leads or sales, depending on what you need, on autopilot for your business, and you don't need to be a marketing expert to do so. So this is presented by Standout Social. That is my company. My name is Tyler Garner, and I'll be leading you through the webinar today for those that don't already know. Now, once again, there's me. There's a photo of me. If you find me on Facebook, that is my profile picture as well. Not a bad mugshot, but yeah, if you want to connect on Facebook and we're not already, that's where to find me. Now, my goal for you today is that by the end of this webinar, you'll be able to run your own ads and see your first leads roll in within the next 24 to 48 hours, irregardless of what industry you're in. Now, obviously, if you're in e-commerce and you want sales, my goal for you is to be able to generate sales within the next 24 to 48 hours, okay? Now, who is this for? Okay, because this webinar is obviously for a particular kind of person. Now, this is for anyone who does have a business, who's not currently marketing on Facebook. This is for anyone who's tried Facebook ads in the past and it hasn't worked, but you know that there's a place for their business on Facebook. This is anyone who's in scale-up phase and they are ready to grow bigger, faster, and easier, because Facebook is a very easy platform to scale your business. You've just got to know your numbers and you've got to know how, and we're going to be going through that together today. Now, this is also for people who will take action from what they learn, those who do not make excuses, and they will implement what they learn from today immediately, okay? This is for business owners and entrepreneurs who are looking to focus on other areas of their business while Facebook can bring in the leads on autopilot for them, so they don't need to worry about that manual outreach or manual networking or anything like that takes up a lot of time that's not as relevant or not as high converting as what you could be doing, okay? Now, that also is for business owners and entrepreneurs who are looking to learn how to generate leads for their business for free. Now, obviously, we are going to be looking at using a paid advertising platform, but what I want to be able to show you is how you can end up getting these new leads in your business for free and how that equates to money on the back end for your business, all right? Now, if you do hang around to the end, as you can see, there's a little bit of a gift. I do have a gift for you guys today. At the end, if you stick around to the end. So make sure you hang around, you ask as many questions as possible. I want to deliver as much value as I can for you guys. Now, before we get started, I want you to understand there is nothing to sell here. I'm not here to pitch you anything. I know when people come to webinars that there's always some kind of pitch. Buy my course, buy this, buy that. At the end of the day, I'm not here to sell you anything, right? This training is based on a request. People need to know more about how to market their business on Facebook, and it's become a frustration of mine that Australian business owners just aren't capitalizing. You see, there'd be someone, you're looking at your business from the inside and you can't work out why you're not growing your business as fast as your competitor down the road. And the truth is, more times than not, the reason why you're not growing, or they might not be growing as fast as you or their competitor, is purely down to how they're marketing their business. Times have changed and we need to change with it. And online marketing, and specifically Facebook, is still heavily underutilized within Australia. It's big in the States, but they've got more people. But here in Australia, next to nobody is using Facebook advertising as a platform, which leaves you with a huge opportunity to put yourself in front of your ideal customers well before your competition and be the only one doing it, which means that you're in a blue sea full of fish that no one else is fishing in, right? Now, a couple of house rules for you, all right? Turn off all of the distractions, turn off Facebook, put your phone on silent. If you're at home, you've got kids or a partner or both, or you've got other things going on, lock the door, close them out. I want your full attention for the next 60 minutes. Grab a pen and paper. We are going to be going through a lot, and obviously you will have time to ask questions. If you need to ask one in the moment, by all means ask them. There is a bit of a delay on the webinar, so make sure that when you do ask them, I'll get back to them within like the next 10 seconds or so. Close down your emails. I'm getting them going off all the time as well. I understand how busy it can be, but just make sure that your attention is undivided right now and on this webinar, because at the end of this, I guarantee you, you will walk away with value. I promise you that. All right. So that's what I can guarantee you if you spend the next 60 minutes with me, fully attentive. Like I said, Q&A will be at the end. Questions are welcome all the way through. Let me just quickly dart over to YouTube and see if there are questions. I would like to know step-by-step how to use the Facebook hack with live and create the audience. Fantastic, Sonny. We'll be going through that today towards the end. It isn't in my notes, but obviously, you can just give me a quick reminder. And when we get to the Q&A and walkthrough session, that's in the tail end of the webinar. I'll be able to go through all of that with you today. So next thing, why should you listen to me? Who is this person behind the webinar for those who don't know me? I know I've got a few people who do know me, but for those that don't, why should you listen to me? Well, I'm a Facebook marketing and lead generation sales expert. Here at Standout Social, we like to believe that we're the Facebook ad specialists, right? We've helped an online coach get almost 1,000 new leads in the past 2 months of working together, right? Just this month alone, we're on track to make over $12K in sales from only $400 in ad spend. That's $3,000 return on investment, right? That's only the beginning. We're not even in scale-up phase for this campaign yet. We've helped a local gym generate over 250 new leads in the past 2.5 months of working together. And we generated those leads for free based on what we're going to be going through today and the principles we're going to learn today. Now, we've helped take an e-commerce store reduce their cost per acquisition by 60% and generate $25K in a month from $2,000 ad spend. That means that we were able to take them from a $10 purchase per purchase on items that were worth about $30 to $40, and we brought it right back down to $3 to $4 on average throughout that time period, right? So that alone, a dollar saved is just as good as a dollar earned. And when you can reduce a cost per acquisition, it means out of your daily budget, you're going to generate more sales. And that's what we were able to do for an e-commerce store. So we've worked with quite a range, whether you're an online business, whether you're a physical business, or if you are an e-commerce store, we have worked with you and we know what it takes for you to start generating sales. All right. Now, here's some of the screenshots of the clients that we've helped. So if you look at the above one, on one campaign, we generated over 105 leads, and on the other, 881. And this was within a 2-month window. Okay. You add those two together, we're looking at about 986 leads. And on average, it cost us about 91 to 92 cents. Now, to this person's credit, he was always good with content, right? He knew who his audience was and we knew how to get in front of them, but he didn't know how to use the right offer at the right time with the right audience. And that was what we were able to utilize to get these kinds of results. Okay, you've got to know your audience, where they're at, what they're feeling right now, and how you can actually help them based on their level of awareness with you. Okay, below that, we're looking at the gym's results. A local gym, a physical business. Okay, as you can see there, 244 total leads out of 3 campaigns with an average of $12 per action. Like I said, we didn't get these for free, right? But we got them for free. We just had to spend money on ads in the front end. Now, on average, these leads were worth about $42 to us. Now, granted, not every single one of those came in, right? That's complete honesty, full transparency. If you get 100% of people who opt in, actually come in and claim your offer, you're a wizard, an absolute wizard, right? But what we were able to do is get a minimum of 50% of those leads. On average, it was around 60% of those people actually come in. And if they're averaging if they are worth $42 to the business and we still got 120, 150 of those leads, we're still profiting on the front end. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of value there and there's profit on the front end. The better thing is as well, because he's on a gym, his time's leveraged. He's going to be in there anyway. His trainers are going to be training anyway. These people coming to the gym isn't taking up any more resources. So when you create an offer, and we're going to go through this, but when you create an offer, you want to make sure that it is leveraged and you're not going to be spending too much time or too many resources on that initial offer because you want to be getting those leads for free without investing too much time back, right? Now, let's be real with ourselves for a second. Facebook advertising isn't easy. It's really not. And if it was easy, I'd be out of business, right? It's just that plain and simple. All right, sorry guys, just checking over at YouTube, having to dart back and forth. Now, let me know in the chat box, guys, who has tried Facebook ads before? And what were your experiences like? This is going to be an interactive workshop, guys, so I am going to need your responses. I am going to need your interaction to make sure we can get the most value out of this. So let me know in the chat box who's tried Facebook ads before and what was your experience like. Right bunch, huh? All right, moving on, not to worry. We're just going to go on the assumption then that no one's tried, and we'll go from there. It's probably the easiest way anyway. Now, let me ask you a question. Wouldn't it be awesome to wake up every single morning with a brand new leads or sales waiting in your inbox for you to contact them, right? Give me a yes in the chat box if that's something that you would want. I need your engagement here, guys. This webinar is based around you engaging back and forth with me so I can deliver the most value to you. So let me know in the chat box, is that something that you want? Awesome. Good to have you on, Tyler. Good to have you on. That's all right, Sonny. We'll be showing you today how to get that up and running anyway. So we do have a YouTube stream going as well for those who are on the Webinar Jam feed. We've got Mentor WS. Yes. Okay, fantastic, guys. Much better engagement. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so what I want to show you really, really quickly is just, I wasn't going to do this, but I will now. Give me one moment. I'm going to switch this around and just show you what the inbox looks like for my clients every morning. Exactly what it looks like every single morning, just to give you. Okay, so see this Insta page here. Let's make sure you can see my page. Yeah, you can. Okay, great. Okay, Insta page, lead. These are all leads coming through, right? Look at this. This is all just from today. This is before midnight. This is all just lead coming in. 1:53 a.m., 2:09 a.m., 7:36 a.m., 7:40 a.m., 7:48, 8:05, 8:36, 8:59. You get the point, right? These are all people saying, I want what you have to offer. Firsthand, it's a lot of fun. Excuse me. Now, the power behind this is that once you know how to do this, you will never go things that are important, right? Not having to scratch your head and post in groups and go to networking events. Those are all good and well, but when you've got a predictable system of how to generate leads, how to generate sales for your business, that's where the value lies. Okay, can I just make sure, did you guys actually see my inbox then? Did you see it moving, or am I just, did that miss completely because I couldn't see the feed? Just let me know in the chat box. Did you see the inbox full of leads? Give me a yes. Yes or no, obviously. Okay, great. So I'm not showing that to show off, guys. I'm showing that to show you what's possible. That fact that you can wake up every single morning like that. You just got to find the right market with the right message at the right time with the right offer. Okay, that's what today is all about. So let's continue and let's get through to it. Okay. Now, what would you do differently? We'll skip straight past this, but just think to yourself, what would you do differently if you knew that that your leads were never going to be a problem ever again? So I guarantee you what you're doing today would be very different if you never had to worry about lead generation again. And if the leads aren't a problem for you, I don't know why you're on the webinar. That's all this webinar is about. You can leave. But anyway, let's keep going. Okay. If you could make any income, now I need to know from you guys, if you could make any income in the next 12 months, you had complete control over how much you made. How much would you want that to be? Realistically, how much would you want that to be? Let me know in the chat box. Damn, this delay is killing me. As much as possible. I love it, Sonny. I love it. Just remember, though, when it comes to actually making as much as you want, there comes a fulfillment side as well. So there will be growing pains within that, but I just want you to really visualize for yourself, what would you want to achieve in the next 12 months if you could have any figure you want? All right, let's keep moving on. We'll keep this rolling. Now, what we're going to go through today, let's get into it. Okay, the 4 steps, 4 simple steps to high converting and highly profitable Facebook ads, regardless of your business. It's going to be, I'm going to show you today how you can get it set up. All right. Now, the way that we're going to be entering this is almost like a back to front method. I'm not going to show you how to set up ads until the very end, because at the end of the day, and one thing I find with all of my clients, the work's done on the back end, in the planning, in the theory side of things. Okay, you've got to understand that, because it's not about going onto the advertising platform, pressing a few buttons and sending it on its way. There's time and effort that goes into the back end. It's like the 80-20 rule. 80% of this work is done in planning and in theory, not in actually pressing the buttons and getting the ad running. Okay. Now, always start with a goal in mind. Know why you're running the ads and what you actually want to achieve. Do you want leads? Do you want sales? Do you want event awareness? Do you want people to come into your physical location? You need to know these in order to know what kind of ad you're going to run. All right, we're going to be going through that a little later on today as well throughout this training. Now, step number 1, get specific with who you're marketing to. You've got to know your audience, and you've got to know what solution you're providing. What's keeping them up at night? Obviously, if you're not solution-based and you're more of a pleasure-based like e-commerce or I know Pete, for example, with Obstacle, no one's staying up at night wondering what their kid's going to do on an obstacle course. But what can you provide value for? Who is that person? Who is that ideal customer that you can work with? Okay. Now, who can you help better than anybody else? Because I tell you, the number one thing that I find when I talk to any customers is they're scared. They're scared to centralize who they're working with and niche down. They think that they're going to be restricting themselves. But at the end of the day, if you're running an ad for everyone, you're going to speak to no one. I'll give you an example in a second, but if you run an ad for everyone, you'll end up speaking to nobody, because nobody who reads that will feel like you're talking directly to them. The biggest thing with online marketing is you need them to feel like you're speaking directly to them, because it's a very, very noisy marketplace. And the better you can describe someone's situation or call out the kind of person you want to work with, the more likely they are to be receptive to your ad. Okay. Now, let me give you an example here. Example A, we're going to be messaging to everyone. I'm going to use a gym as an example because it's actually quite fun to use gyms as an example for me. Example A, hey, come to my gym. It's really good and has all the equipment you need to feel fit and healthy, right? That's all good and well. That's a little promotion. You put a little photo up, run a boosted post, do something like that, right? That is example A. Who does that speak to? That speaks to literally everybody, all right? Let's go to example B. Hey, ladies, how would you like to lose 5 kilos in the next 28 days, guaranteed, or your money back? Here at Business Name, whatever your name might be, John's Fitness, we're dedicated to changing the lives of women who want to feel confident when they look in the mirror again and want to sculpt their dream body this bikini season. Okay? Who am I talking to there? Even that is not as specific as it could be. You could call out mums. You could call out postmenopausal mums, right? Who can't lose that stubborn body fat, who just wants to feel confident again. Okay? You can get so specific, and the closer you can get to calling those people out and talk about their pains and problems, the more likely they are to click on your ad and feel like, damn, he's speaking to me. He knows and understands my problems. Okay? You've got to know before you get started who that person is. All right? Let's keep moving. Now, you can have more than one. This is a big thing. You don't have to be stuck with just one in one box. Okay? You can have 3 different boxes, but what that means, 3 different categories. What that means, though, is you need to have more than one ad set. Okay? Because obviously, if you're going to be running ads, they've got to be specific to a certain type of person, which means you need to have one ad and one ad set going individually so that your ad speaks to that person. So you might have one for the older women, you might have one for younger women, you might have one for men, right? The ads and the images and the demographic and the way you talk to them will be different. You've got to meet that person with where they're at as though you're talking to them at a bar or to your friends when you're out. You've got to have those kind of conversations with them. Now, step number 2, this is a quote from Dan Kennedy, one of the best copywriters and marketers in the game today, right? Ultimately, the business that can spend the most to acquire a customer will win. I just want you to think about that. Ponder on that for a second. If your competitors can spend $10 maximum to bring in a new customer, but you can spend $30 to bring in that exact same customer, who's going to win in the long run? Obviously, it's going to be you, right? You can spend more, which means your ads will be there more, which means that in an auction style format, which is what online marketing is, it's an auction. We're not going to go into that today. You will be able to outspend them, which means that you're going to be more present in the marketplace than they are. Okay? This is what we like to call the brilliant business model, right? This is where we're going to learn how to get your leads for free. Now, once again, we're using paid ads. I do not want people to think that Facebook ads, there's some hack where you can get them for free. It's not completely free. You spend money on the front end, but the sales that come in on the front end as an offer, which we'll go into, comes in as free, right? Pays for the marketing. So these leads that you're getting, these customers that you're getting, you make money when they come in and on the lifetime value of the customer, right? This is what we like to call a self-liquidating offer. Now, if you're a service-based business, this is somewhere between usually $27 to $97. Okay, that is of high value, that's heavily discounted. So you might have something that's usually worth $200-300, but doesn't cost your business in terms of resources too much. You know, for dentists, it might be a simple clean. For chiropractors, it might be a quick adjustment or a consultation. For a dietitian, it might be the first consultation, right? This can even be free, but at the end of the day, if you can get your marketing and your leads for free, that's where the money lies, okay? Now, this doesn't always work for some businesses, but at the end of the day, let's say about 90% of businesses, this will work for, okay? You know, you don't want to use too many resources. You don't want to use time. You don't want to use too many people. You don't want to be taking your staff away that's going to cost money out of your business for something that's cheap. You want to try and make it as leveraged as possible, right? Think of something that's in your business that's of a higher value. How can you break that down to a lower value for an introductory offer? Okay. For e-commerce, this could be something like free plus shipping. All right. This is so you don't, that way your brand's getting out there. It's something really cheap, doesn't cost you too much. And all they're doing is paying for the marketing and paying for the shipping, and you're profiting on the back end. All right. It's the follow up. It's the email that you get and the email marketing that you can do after where you're going to benefit. Okay. This is the value scale. This is the way it works. So obviously your self-liquidating offer comes in at the very bottom. And then what you do is you move them up. Now, what you'll see on this scale is as value increases, so does the price, okay? But in order to get there, they have to first be working with your business. And so the whole purpose of the self-liquidating offer is to get them in very cheap, and then you can start discovering the problems that they have within or the other solutions that you may be able to help them. These are known as upsells, or it's also bringing the customer back. So let's use a gym for an example, right? Very, very simple. You bring them in for an introductory offer. It might be a free trial. You know, for our client, we use different challenges ranging from $30 up to $80. Okay. Now, the thing here is we're getting those leads for free, which is fantastic. And when they sign up on the back end, then there's the value. You know, then if they buy any products or any kind of gear or shirts or apparel, then there's more profit there. It's all upsells. Then if we ever move into more higher ticket into, you know, let's look at something like a retreat, then all of a sudden the value of those customers is much, much more valuable. Okay, it's about starting on something so cheap that through the law of large numbers, you get enough people in your cheap offer, you're going to find the right customers who are going to want to move up. Will everybody move up? No, but if you're getting the leads for free, it does not matter. All right. The reason why you start off so cheap at the beginning, or you start off with a self-liquidating offer, an introductory offer, is because you don't ask someone to marry you on the first date. You can't go up to someone, doesn't matter what services you're on, you can't go up to someone and say, pay me for my full services, pay me for 12-month mentoring, pay me for, you know, come and sell your house with me, come and, you know, let me be your financial planner. No one wants to do that. No one gives a shit. right? People don't like you, know you, or trust you. And at that point in time, when they don't have those three factors, they're not going to be willing to spend money with you, okay? You can't, once again, it's just here. You can't expect someone who doesn't know you, like you, or trust you to spend big money with you yet. You just can't, right? You wouldn't do it, and you couldn't expect them to do the same for you. Let me see if we've got any questions. No questions so far. Fantastic. All right, so there's 4 stages of a customer journey, guys. The first one is unaware. The second one is problem aware. The third one is solution aware. And the fourth one is product aware. Now, how valuable these positions are is in order. So the first one, they're not very valuable. The fourth one, product aware, they're extremely valuable. Okay, these are what you would consider the low-hanging fruit. These are the people who are going to want what you have to offer. Okay, they're the ones that are going, cool, I know of you, I know of your product, I'm ready to buy what you have. Okay, for every business, these people belong in different categories, and your ad needs to be different based on where they're at. So you need to assess this before you run any ad. Which person am I talking to? Am I talking to unaware people? Am I talking to problem-aware people? Am I talking to solution-aware people or product-aware people? And if they're product-aware, fantastic. Put a quick ad out, self-liquidating offer, nice and cheap, come in, give it a go, and then you move them up your value ladder very, very quickly. Okay, 4 stages of a customer journey. Now, for myself, right, to run Facebook ads, I'm dealing with a lot of people who are either unaware or problem-aware, and I'll use myself as an example here. Okay, those who are unaware, they need education. So if you didn't already see, if you didn't come in from my ad, I'm going to explain what my ad was to get people into this webinar, where we had about over a 5-day window, we had around 40 registrants. Okay, now the first step, unaware education. We need to educate them. We need to let them know, 1, that we exist, and 2, what we do, and 3, how we can help them and what problems they may have. We need to help them understand that they have a problem. We're not creating a problem out of thin air, but we're helping them understand that where they're at isn't where they want to be, okay? So the way I did this to get you people onto the webinar is I educated you. I helped you understand that there's more out there, that you can achieve more, right? Hey, Jordan, good to have you on, mate. So what I was able to do is talk about the results of one of my clients and how we were able to do it. So I educated on what was possible. Then all of a sudden, these businesses could realize, hang on a second, I might have a problem. Why aren't I getting results like that? How can I get results like that? They've just gone from completely unaware, not even bothering with Facebook, into problem aware. Then on my next video, I was able to talk about a solution, right? I was able to help them understand that, hey, if you are interested in learning how you can do this, I'm hosting a webinar. You are welcome to join. It's free, right? Then by this webinar, they're going to understand that there is a product they can buy. Once again, nothing to sell. But at the end of the day, there's no line behind what I do. I help businesses grow with Facebook marketing. So at the end of this webinar, if they found that the solution they needed was the product that I had, we would exchange services. I'm walking them through the 4 stages of the customer journey. They were unaware. They became problem aware. They realized what the solution was. Then all of a sudden, they understood there was a product to fix that. Alrighty. That's the order you need. You need to understand the stages that your customers are at in order to talk to them specifically, okay? Put the right offer in front of them at the right time with the right person. This is how you do that. All right, let's move on. For a self-liquidating offer to work, you need to know your customer lifetime value. This is about knowing your numbers, okay? It's super, super important to know your numbers, and I'll go through that in a second. Now, step number 3, here we go. We're going through it now. Step number 3 is you need to know your numbers. How much you want to make, how much a client is worth to you over time, what your conversion rates are, and what you can spend to acquire a customer. Okay, let's go ahead and break this down now. Let me give you an example. If your average client is worth $1,000, okay, and you convert on average 33% of your leads. Now, what we're doing here, this example, okay, this is a physical business. This is like a trades and services business who might work by the hour, okay? Average conversion rate, 33%. So out of every 3 leads that call you, 1/3 of those will come in. Now, the minimum you want to earn hourly, $200, all right? So you want to earn a minimum of $200 an hour. Your average job time takes 2 hours, okay? Let's say that you've got a cost of goods, whether it's buying product or whether it's maybe labor hire, so you've got to get a staff member in there, and it costs you that much to have them there over that period of time. Maybe it's what your product's worth, right? Let's say there's $200. Let's work out the maths. So what you want to make at the end, your end goal, what you would like to make, since the job's going to take 2 hours and your minimum that you want to earn is $200 per hour, it means that in this instant, right, your average job time is 2 hours. So in this instance, you want to be earning $400. That's how much you want to walk away with as profit, okay? If your average client is worth $1,000, take away the $400 that you want to keep yourself, that leaves you with $600 remaining to spend, which means that you don't care where that goes, right? You just want it. You can spend $600 to acquire these customers. But now let's take away the $200 in the labor hire, whatever that might cost. That might be a staff member. Then let's also take away the cost of the goods, okay, which is $200. That leaves you with $400 remaining. Now, out of that $400 that you can spend to acquire these customers, that's all marketing, right? That is all marketing. Now, what we need to then do, work out our conversion rate, because if we can factor in and divide how much we can spend by our average conversion rate, that will leave us with how much we can actually spend per lead, right? Because once we know that 1 in 3 leads will convert, so we can spend this much to equal 1 per lead to know that we're going to get our end result. All right, so in this instance, if you were a trades and services business or had some form of product, okay, that takes time, you could spend $133 per lead to get the job, to get that job, $133. Now, on Facebook, I don't know of many people spending more than $20 to acquire a lead, but that is your break-even point. That is your maximum spend that you are willing to go to based on these numbers. You've got to know how much you want to make. Right? These are about knowing your numbers. What's your average client worth? Okay, that's when you know, and how much do you want to make of that? Do you want a 2-to-1 return on investment, a 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 10-to-1? Once you know how much you want to make, then these numbers become easy. Okay, this is how you guarantee a successful advertising campaign. You know how much you can spend, and if you're spending more than that, something needs to change. You need to tweak, you need to refine, right? You need to master this process. So once you've got those numbers dialed in, right, that's when you know. That's when you know how much you can spend to make back. There's no more guessing. Because the number one reason that I find that people don't spend money on marketing is because they don't trust themselves. They don't know how much they're going to spend before they make a sale. If you run these numbers, you will find out. You will know. Thank you for your kind words, Sonny. I appreciate that. Now, let's have a look. Let's use an example of a 12-month goal, right? Because it works here as well. Let's say that over 12 months, you want to make $500,000, right? For some, that's a lot. For some, maybe not. Let's say you want to make $500K. Now, let's say the average client value over a 12-month period of time, it may be 1 transaction, it may be 10. But let's just say that the average value of that client to you is worth $1,500. Okay? Your average conversion rate, once again, is 33%. In order to achieve the result that you want and achieve that $500,000, you need 333 sales. That's how much of a $1,500 transaction or $1,500 overall, because you know what your average client's worth over 12 months, you're going to be able to make 333 sales. All right, you work that out monthly and looking at about 30 sales or a sale a day, just under. But anyway, now how many leads are you going to need based on that conversion rate in order to achieve your goal? Well, in order to do this, once again, you crunch the numbers. Your conversion rate times the number of sales that you need. So you go 333 times a third, because 1 in 3 convert, and you're left with 999 leads. So now you know how much you want to make in a year. And you also know how many leads you need. That leaves you with a bare minimum that you can spend to acquire those customers. Okay, your absolute benchmark, like your maximum that you can spend. And if you're under that, you're profiting. Okay, what we'll go through in a second as well, how to make sure that you're achieving a set goal. Let's say you want to make a 2-to-1 ROI. I'll show you how to do that in the next slide. But as you can see here, you can spend up to $500 to acquire a lead in order to achieve your goal. Please tell me you're seeing the value in this. Please tell me that you can see why this is so valuable. You spend money to acquire a customer once, and if they stick with you for longer, this is what it's worth to you, right? You spend $50 to acquire a $20 customer, but that $20 customer might equal $2,000 on the back end, $5,000 on the back end, $1,000 on the back end. However much, you are profiting. So be willing to go into the red on the front end to be able to win on the back end. No one's willing to do that. And this is where the quote of Dan Kennedy came in, saying when you can outspend your customers to outspend your competition to acquire a customer, that's when you'll win. Because I guarantee you that if other businesses were spending $500 to acquire a lead, they would quit. They would run for the hills. They would leave it. Okay? That's your break-even point. So let's work out how we can set goals to accomplish this, right? You want to reverse engineer your numbers. So let's say that your 12-month goal was 500K. Let's say you wanted to achieve a 2-to-1 return on investment. That means that your average client value is $1,500, average conversion rate is 333. You need 333 sales to get there. Number of leads needed to achieve is 999. Maximum spend that you can spend is 250K because you want a 2-to-1 return on investment. So you need to work out what's a 2-to-1. That would mean that you need to spend half of what you want to make in that year to make that much profit at the back end, right? Which means that 250K is your maximum spend that you can go to. You can still work out these numbers. So you would go 250,000 divided by the 999 leads that you need. And that means you can spend up to $250 a lead to achieve your bare minimum result that you want. Okay, that means that anything under $250, you are beating your goal. You are beating your bare minimum requirement. Now, this doesn't just apply to Facebook. If you're a Google advertiser or you want to advertise on Google, these same metrics apply. These same rules apply. If you have a 20% opt-in rate on your page, on your landing page, that means 1 in 5 people convert. That means that if you've got 999 leads, that means you need 5,000 people, because 1 in 5, right? 1 in 5 will land on your landing. You need 5,000 people to land on your landing page. You can go one step further and understand how much you can spend per click maximum in order to achieve that again. If you'd like to learn more about that, by all means, send me a message on Facebook, send a page on Facebook message, Standout Social AU, facebook.com/Standout Social AU. We can go through those metrics all together if you need it. These are better odds than a casino. Because I don't know about you, but I don't mind a game of blackjack. But I'll tell you what, when they take my money away and I don't get anything back, I'm pissed. I'm really pissed. Right? Now, who would like to go to a casino? Let me know. Who would rather go to a casino knowing that when you spend $1,000, you're going to make 2,000 back? Who would be happy with that? Because I know I would. You'd go every weekend. I don't know about you, Sonny, but I'd go every single day. I would go every single day, and I would spend my life savings on it, right? Purely because you're guaranteed, right? And that's just it. When you understand Facebook, you understand your numbers. That is what you're able to do, all right? What I want to spend now, we're going to go on to step number 4. Now, we've gone through this very, very quickly, okay? I'm a very fast talker. I hope that you've kept up, okay? What I want to do now, before we go past this and start creating ads, we're going to be walking through it together. I will show you the back end. I'll show you how to do all of that. Okay, before we do we have any questions, right? So far, what we've gone through, do you have any questions about what we've gone through so far? All right, I'm going to take that as a note. All right, appreciate that. Oh, we got 2 Sunnies. Appreciate that, Sunny. All right, let's keep moving, guys. What I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to flip my screen. I'm going to be sharing the screen while we go through Business Manager. So where we need to go and how we're going to set up these ads. All right, give me a second. All right. Can everyone see my screen? All right, I need to hear from you guys now. Can everyone see my screen all right? A bit of a lag now. All right, let's keep moving on, guys. This is the back end of Facebook, okay? This is the business.facebook.com. If you go to run an ad, this is where you need to go, all right? This gives you so much more access. It gives you access to Facebook pixels and everything else. What you're seeing here, this is my advertising platform. These are all the ads that I've run, etc. All right. Over the last 3 days, I want to show you some of the results that I've achieved over the last 3 days for running the ads for the webinar based on the retargeting and everything else. So we were to go from Sunday till Wednesday, which is when I turn the ads back on. Okay. And we have a look. Let's see if I've got the column. I don't have it. Okay. I'll show you. Give me a second. And we go through. Bear with me through the lag. All right. Thanks for your responses, guys. Makes it easy. Makes it very easy. Looks like my screen's frozen. All right, so what I want to show you really quickly is the results that I've been able to get for myself for the ads while they were running, right? Because if anyone did see it, the first ad was once again going to those who were unaware, right? So I had to educate them, I had to show them the opportunity. So the first ad they saw was what we were able to do for a client of mine. The second ad that they saw was all about how they can join the webinar, and I'll show them how they can do it too, okay? And what you'll see through the retargeting, we were able to get leads because we caught them at the right position at the right time, knowing what they knew, okay? Knowing that they were interested, that they were qualified to be interested in what this webinar was about. We were able to get leads. It was around $3 or $4 per lead. Now, obviously, when my average client is worth quite a lot to me, there's a lot of value there. So if I was to have a look down here, okay, there we go. Subscribe to webinar, and then cost per subscribe to webinar. Let's scroll down here and apply that. I just want to give you guys a bit of an insider scoop into just what it did cost me, all right? Because obviously I'm doing this myself. So we have people opt in at $3 per lead. $3 for a training webinar. That could result in, obviously, should we be a good fit to work together? Because not everyone is, but should there ever be a chance for us to work together, a much greater potential of profit on the back end, not only for my business, but for my clients who do choose to work with me. Okay, $3 per lead. We're in a B2B world. Your average lead is around $20 per lead. This is where that positioning comes in and understanding whether they're unaware, problem aware, solution aware, or product aware. Understanding where they're at in that solution will result in a lower cost per lead. That is so, so important, and I cannot express that enough, okay? So let's get moving. So if you were to set up your first ad after you've done everything else, so you need to do those first 3 steps before you begin here. Now, what I want to do, let's use one of you guys as an example, and we'll set up ads as though you're one of the businesses that I'll set up for, right? Give me your business. What do you do? The first one, and we'll obviously get the campaign to run for. And I'll go through and I'll set up the motions and show you exactly how specific you can become because of it, all right, or what the kind of funnel you would do. And I'll walk you through the back end and how it looks. But let me know, guys, what is your business? What do you do? Manage social media. And is that ads as well, Sunny, or is that just looking after it for them? Facebook and Insta. All right, cool. All right, well, we'll use that as an example. So, Sonny, are you location dependent? Do you need your clients to be around you? Do you go and meet them? Do you go and, because obviously we're quite aligned in terms of what we do. So you don't have to go and meet them. Okay, so it can be virtual. Great. All right, so if we were to keep moving here, and we'll use Sonny as an example, and obviously then we can move on to another one if we've still got the time, okay? But let's use this as an example, right? And say that if you wanted to create ads for a social media management agency, okay, first of all, you need to identify who that customer is. Who are the people? Now, usually they're going to be busy business owners. Right? They're not going to want to worry about time. And most of the time, those who don't care about social media management and looking after it, this is based on what I know because our industries are similar, are people who are a little bit older, who haven't had to learn about it. Okay. And you can be very, very specific with that generation. So the first thing you want to do in this instance, you need to educate. They're unaware. They don't really care. And you need to give them a reason to care. So what we would do something similar to video views. Right, at this point in time, you would have had a video created and all the content created and the funnel built up. But we're going to go through walking through, the ad setup just for example's sake. You can name the campaign, whatever. That's not important. Okay, but what I want to be able to show you is just how specific you really can be here and some of the potential. So at this point in time as well, you need to have landing pages set up and obviously where you're going to be sending your clients through to. We won't have time to cover that off in the webinar today. If you would like to learn more about obviously landing pages and what landing page would be best for you, by all means, send me a message. Once again, you can either go to facebook.com/standout social AU, or you can go and find me on Facebook personally, facebook.com/Tyler Garner AU. Just the easiest ways to be able to find me. All right, let's keep moving. So we're going to focus on Australia. Obviously, when you go outside of that, in terms of getting on calls and actually, selling people on the phone becomes a bit harder. You got to, be more selective with your times, those kinds of things. So we'll leave that at bay for now. Let me just shrink this down. Okay, let's keep moving. Just checked on the comments. All right, so in order to do this, I'm going to move up the ages. Now, obviously, depending on your industry, depending on what you do, you would be selective with your ages. You don't need to. A really cool thing about Facebook when you're setting up ads is it optimizes for you. It'll learn based on who engages, who really is the best audience for you. I do recommend, obviously, split testing at some point in time, but, that's neither here nor there for this conversation, for this webinar. So let's just say, for example's sake, that it's 40 to 60. Oh, we'll go 35. 35 to 60 within Australia. Now, obviously, you can include certain states and exclude others. So let's go, for example, if you wanted to exclude, let's just say for whatever reason, you wanted to exclude the Northern Territory. All right, let's just say, apologize if there's anyone from Northern Territory here, but let's just say you wanted to exclude them. All right, so you get rid of them. Nobody in the Northern Territory will see your ads. Okay, now, next step, you set the ages, you set the gender. If you know it's a woman-specific ad and you're going to be talking specifically to women, don't include men. There's no need, no reason. They're not going to respond, and it's going to waste your money. All right, you can select the language. Obviously, at the end of the day, we're going to hit everyone that speaks English. It can refine the audience. So if you put English, that's fine. Now, let's go into the detailed targeting. This is where it gets quite interesting, quite fun. All right, this is where you can find certain behaviors. So what you'll see here is different job titles, interests, job titles, behaviors, employers, those kinds of things. Okay, in Sonny's instance, you would probably want people who are going to be small business owners by behavior. It's how they act on Facebook. Facebook is just this beast when it comes to buying data. It buys information and data off big data companies who collect information all of the time about all of you, about everything that you do. They've got 1 million points of data on everybody. What you do, where you are. They've also bought now a certain company, I can't remember the name, but they will, whenever you give Messenger the authority to your microphone, so if you've ever sent a verbal message or had any kind of phone call over Messenger, they now have access to listen to your conversations 24/7. So they now know, based on that technology, what you're saying and what you're interested in based on your words, or picks up on your language. So, I'd be more mindful about what you're talking about next time. So small business owners, okay, let's target them. Now, also, because Sonny wants to reach people who are going to be, less tech savvy, we can also go narrow the audience. So you can narrow. So that means they have to be small business owners and something else. So I know that there's one, it's something about late technology. Yeah, technology late adopters. All right. In this point in time, we know that these are the kind of people we want to hit. Right? They don't adjust to technology very well. They don't want to worry about it. I would put something like this together for people who are not interested in handling their social media. This tells me that if they're a late technology adapter, they're probably with an old Sony Ericsson or Nokia phone still, the bricks, right, that no one else has anymore. They haven't adjusted. And they show the behavior of a small business owner. Okay, you don't need to have any connections, but obviously if you want to reach only those who like your page or friends of those who like your page, you can do so here. Then you can edit your adjustments and where they go. For the sake of a video, you want to be able to track everyone who views the video, nothing else. So that means I would personally get rid of Instagram, get rid of the audience network. I'd be selective and just put it on the newsfeed because I want people on Facebook based on being able to retarget these people to see my video. So it's got to be specific to the platform that you want to see. All right. Obviously, if you're doing retargeting and everything else, once again, it's completely different. You would set your daily budget. The numbers here come down to how much you want to spend. This is where, when you've crunched your numbers, you know how much you want to spend. Let's say you want to spend $10 a day on this ad and then $5 a day on retargeting in order to equal, $5 leads. You can do that. You can't tell Facebook how much you want per lead and actually get it, but that's up to you to view your numbers and to track your numbers and to make sure that the goals you've set and the return you want are accurate to this number, okay? So let's just say I usually will tell all my clients start between $5 to $10 a day, okay? Because at that point, it allows Facebook to optimize. You're not spending a fortune on a non-winning campaign, okay? You would prioritize for video views at this point, okay? You'd continue. And then obviously over here is where you would set up videos and everything else. We're not going to go through that because obviously it's quite simple then. You upload your video there, everything else. What we would then do, you head over, you go to audiences. Now, Sonny, this is what you were talking about. Guys, this is where I really want to express a Facebook hack. You can target anybody who views any video of yours for at least 3 seconds. You can retarget them with an offer. That means that they've spent some time getting to know you, like you, and trust you. Okay? That means that they know your brand at some point, so them seeing an ad with an offer isn't completely foreign. Okay? That's super valuable. So what you'll see here, this is what I use to retarget. Anyone who viewed the video in the last 30 days of 50% or more. 200 people viewed the first video that I made. Over 50% of the video, which is pretty damn cool. And all of those people, you better believe, saw my retargeting video because they were qualified. They were qualified to be interested in what I had to offer or what the hell I was talking about. Because at the end of the day, there's no point running ads to people who don't know you, like you, trust you, or know what the hell that you're talking about. If you're speaking a foreign language to them, they're not interested. Okay? Now, let's go. Let's set this up. Okay, so you've just set up that video, that ad's now running. The first thing you need to do once that's done, you head over into your audiences, okay? You want to create engagement, video. All right, you choose the content type, viewed at least 3, 10, 25%, 50%, 75%, 95% of your video, depending on what you're going to retarget to these people, okay? Depending on that, will depend on obviously what you choose. Now, if it's retargeting you're going to choose, make sure that it's within a window of 5 days. 5 days window of seeing this ad, okay? Because obviously when you retarget, you don't want them to see it for the next year. It's annoying. It's bad branding, okay? You would name the audience, blah, 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 right? And then you would hit go. You'd go back to set up an ad. All right, you would go back, setting up an ad. And from that ad, you would then start retargeting, send them through to your landing pages, which we have missed today, but we are running out of time. And you would, and that would be your funnel. That would be the intro funnel to someone like Sonny, who is social media management. You would target late adopters. You would target business owner behavior, knowing that they are both a late adopter and a business owner of some sort or have shown that behavior. It's not just an interest, but a behavior. Behaviors are greater than interest purely because it shows how they interact on Facebook, not just not just what they like or click on, right? So behaviors are much more valuable depending on what business you have. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is bring my screen back over to the slides. Facebook.com. You would then go onto you go to business.facebook.com, you set it up. At this point in time, you've done step 1, 2, and 3 prior. Okay, you then move on to step 4 of setting up your ads. Can you see that 80%, 90% of everything that you do is done on the back end prior to launching an ad at all? The majority of our webinar today was actually running on the setting up, the frameworks, the theory behind running your ads, not putting it together, not pressing a few buttons and getting them going. Okay, that's the value of it. That's the power. All right. Now, Q&A time. Who's got questions? Because we've gone through a lot. All right, we're coming to the end of the webinar, guys. This is the times that you can ask the questions to get the results that you need, to get the answers that you want. If you want a hypothetical walkthrough of what I would do, what funnel I would use, how the funnel would look for your business, once again, send it through. Send through those questions, guys. Happy to brainstorm it with you. Do we have any questions, guys? I go overseas on the 4th of August, Sunny. I'll still be available and working then as well. So I'll still be contactable and everything else. I'll just be in another country. We can definitely touch base. I'll send you through a text. So for a web designer, Mentor WS, for a web designer, it would be more along the lines of having to add value first. It might be a case study video. It might be a value video. It might be a free video talking about, the problems with a website, what to look for, what makes a good website good. You can talk about success stories. Okay, so for a website, you got to think, once again, it's not about you, it's about your customer. So what do they want? Well, people don't buy websites, right? They buy the result that it brings. So you've got to be able to jazz that up and sexy that up to make them actually want that result that it brings. So personally, what I would do, it's very similar to what I would do for Facebook advertising. Create a free video, put it out to the marketplace, talk to them about the 3 key things that makes a high converting website that your website needs to have to capture your visitors. So that might be lead magnet, it might be mobile friendly, it might be certain SEO optimization. I'm not sure, I'm not a website guy, right? But that might be something you do for free. You just put it out there, add value to the marketplace, put $10, $20 a day behind it, right? Then follow up with a case study video. So retarget those people with a case study of one of the wins of your clients, right? Let them watch that case study for free on a landing page. At the bottom of the landing page, I'd put a click to a booking form. If you want to have a free 30-minute strategy session, breakthrough session, planning session to work out how, what your website needs to get fixed, click here, book below. If you want results like John, who went from earning $5,000 a month, and getting 10 leads from his website to $50,000 a month and 2,000 leads a month, something like that, all because of his website, because of what you've created, click the button below and let's have a chat. You want to put together some kind of success story for them, for them to believe in what you have. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Okay, cool. All right. Any other questions, guys? Anything else through Q&A? Best webinar I've heard this year. I appreciate the kind words, Sonny. Appreciate that. Alrighty, guys. Well, what we'll be doing next, all right, you have stuck around to the end, and I do appreciate this. So here's your gift, right? If you need, so out of everything that you've learned, if you need help implementing this, if you need to learn what's that right strategy for me, and you want to just get it mapped out for you over the phone, there is no selling. It's purely just a marketing blueprint call. It's completely free, right? Usually this is what happens once a client's paid me, right? Once they've decided to become a client of Standout Social, these are when these blueprint calls happen. We map out what funnel we're going to use, what audience we're going to hit, what offer we're going to use. If you want to organize a time to work out the best funnel for yourself, head over to bit.ly/SOS-blueprint, all lowercase. Okay, it is case sensitive. Head over there now, book yourself in a time on my calendar, and let's map out a blueprint for you to work out what your business needs, right? Together for 30 minutes on the phone, what your business needs to run profitable Facebook marketing campaigns, and we'll discuss it together on the phone. All right, so once again, head to bit.ly/SOS-blueprint for a free marketing blueprint call. Alrighty, guys. Any other questions before we go? We are at the end of the webinar. You still see we've got about 10 people on, which is fantastic to see. Any other questions before we jump off? Alrighty, guys. Doesn't look like there is any other questions. So that'll be it from me today. If you do need to contact me, like I said, you can find me on Facebook, Facebook.com/Tyler Garner AU. If you want to find Standout Social on Facebook and you're not already following us, we do post content quite regularly, value bombs, everything like that. You can find us at Facebook.com/Standout Social AU, all one word. Facebook.com/Standout Social AU. All right, that's all from me today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the call. Look forward to seeing some of you on those calls with the free marketing blueprints. Other than that, I'll see you around. Cheers, guys.